Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Did you watch that episode yesterday, Peter?
I need to. Did you?
Well,
Don't you dare
Cersei
say
is
anything.
dead. Cersei is dead.
Don't stop it! Don't spoil it for
Cersei
me!
is dead.
No, I gotta run out of here!
Mother of...
No, I can't, I can't!
Yeah, so you know we're excited. I mean, excited for him to be here. Yeah, that's another one.
Show them the one on top of the line.
Yeah,
No, I
really
can't.
nice.
Yeah. We're not in Turkey, Louise. I believe you too. Sorry, we're in Hungary. No disrespect.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
that's my tour manager, by the way.
I have the same problem.
People do it to us, you know, like, so if you're from Latin America, everybody's Mexican. And so the Colombians is like, no, I'm not Mexican, I'm Colombian. You're right. You know, so it happens everywhere around the world. Let me answer that because you were very...
I remember,
Yeah. The only way you can make sure that your kids are safe is when the pack right away knows what the purpose of that child is about. A lot of people keep them away for medical reasons or things like that, but they're already smelling them. So if you don't present the smell, the sounds, and the sight right away, then they learn not to trust them. Some people bring like the blankets from the hospital and things like that. To me, I grew up around animals, so we were born, was presented to the farm animals, and then we all move on. Just like in Africa, just like in Amazon, there is no time for blankets.
And so did it go well?
Yeah, they're still alive. Not at all. You know, I didn't follow my dad's footsteps. So yeah, I had no idea the boys. I did want for them to come and help me. You know what I mean? So we can grow the family together and the business together. For sure, as in our culture, is the family helps. Okay, so anybody that is in the house eating food helps. Yeah. So for me that was like the must do. Like for him to have a TV show or for Andrew to have his own show as well. That was not part of the deal.
So I wanted to immediately join that as soon as I knew what you really were, like who you are in this world. So.
And he was supportive, I guess.
Yeah.
A proud father, supportive.
Well, to have them alive is you know what I mean? I know where I came from. I mean, I was, you know, an illegal immigrant when these guys were born. So it's not like it was, I was already established. I didn't speak English. I didn't have any papers. I didn't have a consistent, permanent job. So for me, it's a big pride to have them alive, being able to provide some education, and of course the love of nature and the respect to animals that I was able to instill on them just by who I am. Well, it's different ways to influence people. Books is one, right? Audio is another one. Television is audio and sight. But the live part of it is really what connects you to believe. Because when you watch TV, they edit it, so it becomes more like I'm a fan of Cesar. But then once you see it live, now you become a believer. It's, you know, it's like the difference between a miracle and like a story. You know, I heard this happen in this part. Well, maybe yes, maybe not. But when you see it live, now you know that is real. You know.
Yes.
We're going to be recruiting dogs for the show before the show, and we're going to pick the best humans. Well, the worst humans, but the best examples.
The best human meaning like the humans who have the most problems, right? So like an anxious human, like a nervous human, like a tense human. And a lot of times these people don't realize they're that way.
Yeah.
They think it's a dog.
Yes.
You
My
understand?
dog's scared.
Yeah, my dog's scared,
aggressive.
but they don't see like if the dog can talk, it's like Cesar, my human it's out of control. So everybody blames the dog and nobody pays attention of how they can create a problem.
Yes.
And so the dog is a reflection of who's holding the leash.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if the person is calm, the dog is calm. If the person is nervous, the dog is nervous. But most people see outside themselves, they don't see inside themselves. People have to learn to recognize what's a friendly dog to travel with. Because in the plane, you're gonna find people who are afraid of dogs, and you're gonna find people who don't like dogs, okay? And you're gonna find people who have medical problems, allergies. So they're gonna be in this area, like, I don't want a dog, you know what I mean? Or a dog makes me whatever. So you have to understand that there is other humans besides dog lovers. So in order for this dog to travel in the plane, you need to bring a dog that is calm, right? This is exercise. And a dog that is open-minded. Surrender. So a dog that does this. So when you see somebody eating in a restaurant and the dog is just laying down, even though there's food around, that dog is in a calm surrender state. Okay? That's the only mind that should be allowed in a plane. We have to learn to teach people to aim for this state of mind. A plane, the proximities are very close. So you have to be very mindful that your energy is going to bother people the closer you are. You see it? So if imagine 16 hours of a dog doing that. I mean, maybe you would think it's okay if you're the owner of a dog. If you're the owner of a dog, it's okay, baby, it's okay. But the rest of the plane will be like, come on. Come on.
Maybe
So
it's like with the babies.
same thing. It's the same thing. How many parents bring kids into the plane with no exercise?
She was also heard pleading, "Calm down, honey."
Everybody was just kind of looking at each other like, oh, this is going to be a long flight.
So the kids they just, I have so much energy. I'm going to run on this thing. I'm going to scream. That energy needs to be released. So with dogs, it's more likely that people have to be more disciplined about it, because these guys can bite. So the reason why humans love dogs so much is because the concept of unconditional love, right? So then they love you exactly how you are, but the human doesn't do the same thing in return. See? So the people that we work with, they want the dog to be human. So they want to humanize the dog. So therefore they're going to use human psychology on the dog.
Is it like when they say that, oh, the dog is like my child or something?
Nothing wrong loving a dog the way you love a human, okay? So I love dogs the way I love my kids. It's just the way they learn is different. He learns ears, eyes, nose, and a dog learns nose, eyes, ears. So it's a completely different species. I'm not saying not to love them the same. I'm saying that they have a different way of learning. Yeah? So man, woman, we want the same, but we learn it different. Man is more logical, and woman is more emotional. It's nothing. It's just what it is. So we have to learn how you function. So when we want to have a conversation, connection with you, we have to connect the way you know best, not the way I connect. I'm a male. You know what I mean? I come from a different planet. My concept is completely basic and raw. I can just say whatever, not knowing how my energy is that can hurt your feelings. You see it? So we're same species, different psychology. Different species, different psychology. Dog, human, completely different species. So that to me is the biggest challenge, because the human knows that that's a dog, but he still uses human psychology on a dog. I never met an animal who doesn't want to be happy the rest of his life. You know how many humans I know that you can tell that you want to be happy and they postpone happiness? How many humans do you know that they're not doing anything about it to become happy?
Yes.
That's right. Oh my gosh. But no animal on earth will say no to happiness.
And do you think this is maybe the major problem, the major mistake that most people do?
No, the major mistake is we're not properly educated. We as a human are not properly educated how to connect to ourselves, how to communicate to ourselves, how to have a relationship with ourselves. So if we can't have that with ourselves, how are we going to have it with somebody else? Right? That's called self-realization, self-love, self-awareness. So if you don't have that at a high level, and then you're not going to be able to have this amazing relationship that everybody dreams about. You know what I mean? So it's self-education. Yeah, so we're the species that have to self-educate himself, because the rest of the species, they already have it. Elephants know, pandas know, dogs know, snakes know, sharks know. Nature already know. They already know. Connection, communication, and relationship, they know that. We have to know as much as they do.
Végeztünk az interjúval, és mind a kettőnknek abszolút az a véleménye, hogy Cesar Millan teljesen ugyanolyan élőben is, mint a csodálatos kutyadokiba, közvetlen,
Szuper jó fej.
Nagyon jó fej, és tényleg van olyan pozitív kisugárzása, ami miatt ő a kutyákkal suttogó. És hát most kapott tőlem egy kis pálinkát, és már bontogatja. Azt mondja, hogy szereti a pálinkát, úgyhogy szereti a kutyákat, szereti a pálinkát, rossz ember nem lehet.